Hey, family, what's going on? PG here. Back here, we're going to try and start part two, um, episode number 2 right here. And what I want to talk about in episode 2, I want to talk about two things actually. I want to talk about feasibility and access. Um, I think it's very important that we touch on, you know, my theory, many people's theories about how all this developed, how all this started. Um, Shout out to Matt Berkey. Matt Berkey just posted a video where he, in 5 minutes, posted the software that's used over there at Stones, and he runs through the different pages and the different features of the software. And about 5 minutes, man, he showed how easy it is to forward real-time information to any device. Basically, all you need is a URL. How do you get a URL? You get it from whoever is running the software, whoever is managing the podcast. I mean, basically, look, the manager of Stones as well as the head of security both had the information that was needed to get the feed sent to their phones live. How difficult would it be to send the same stream to Mike's phone? You know? So that brings me to point 2. Access. Who did have Mike have access to? Who did Mike have access to? Let me tell you a little story. About a year ago, I was playing at the Stones. I think it was a Friday or a Saturday weekend. The game broke that I was in. To get into another game, it was going to be a long wait. I said to myself, man, let me shoot up here to Thunder Valley. And I hadn't actually played at Thunder Valley on a weekend before. I've played tournaments, but I've never played like the Cast game on a weekend. You know, I'm not from Sac. I'm from the Bay Area. So I'm literally 90 minutes away from Sacramento. So, you know, I don't really know the Sacramento poker scene that well. I play tournaments here and there. But I decided to play some cash game up at Thunder Valley just to see what it was like. You know, I wanted to check them out. So I drove 20 minutes up to Thunder Valley, and I'm on my way to the card room. And in the middle of Thunder Valley, there's a bar. There's a bar. They have live music. I think everybody knows the bar that I'm talking about. It's the one that's in the middle of the floor, wide open, right? So I'm walking past the bar to the card room, and I just happen to glance up, you know, a couple women up in there, you know, I'm like, ooh, look, it's kind of popping up. You know what I see? I see Justin and Mike sitting at the bar having drinks, hooping it up, kicking it. Just them two. Listen, people, they're good friends. They're very, very close friends. Close enough to go to a bar by themselves and talk about any subject that comes to mind. Whatever they want to talk about. They're that close. Now, you know, I can promise you they have each other's phone numbers. You know, have they ever been to the Dominican Republic together, you know, and kicked it on the beach? I don't know. But they know each other well enough to hang out on a weekend by themselves at a bar. I've seen it. I saw this. Shout out Jimmy Z. You've seen it too. So, um, I'll let you guys put that together, or attribute any meaning or nothing burger to that if you want. But I mean, basically, they know each other. They know each other well, and if you were gonna pull something like this, Justin would be a good guy to know. Shout out Justin. Um, you know, Again, we're talking about circumstantial evidence. We're talking about what is it beyond the, how does it go? Is it beyond the presumption of innocence or guilt? Basically, but when you're dealing with a civil matter, it's the preponderance of the evidence. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be unanimous. Basically, and circumstantial evidence weighs heavy. A lot of times circumstantial evidence is very important. I mean, it's a lot. It can be more important than the, you know, I think about the OJ case. I mean, although he walked, but in the OJ case, the circumstantial evidence is what made me think that he was guilty. I remember the hours and hours and hours. If I told you I'm old school. This is back in 1990, but I remember, uh, when um, one of the lawyers, who's the DNA expert. I can't think of his name right now, but he was running through, the 1 in 1 million chance that this DNA molecule could, and I was like, okay, this isn't what's getting it for me. What got it for me was the circumstantial portion of the case. All the things that just kind of added up, and you're like, okay, he was a wife beater to begin with. Anyway, we're not going to go into the OJ case, but I think you understand my point, and that's the whole purpose of this video, is to make this case without going through poker hands. Because if this case was in front of a jury, juries don't play poker. They're not going to get the fact that, nobody folds the turn to a 3-bet, when you're holding 7 high. They're not going to get that. That's why this is important. We're going to use our common sense. We're going to figure out, is this guy, first of all, like I had in episode 1, is this guy, have the balls? Does he have the internal capability of pulling off a stunt like this? And now we're talking about, did he have access? Now, shout out to Matt Berkey again. Go to his podcast, or actually on YouTube, and look at his take on how the software works, and what does it take in order to shoot a feed to somebody's phone. It doesn't take the best and the brightest. You don't need a high-level guy from Microsoft to come down and throw a Trojan on this software. Basically, you need to go up into the menu and click an option. Send this feed out to this URL. You need a phone with Windows Media Player. Man, look. Marinate. Hit that subscribe button.